Hello everyone, welcome to civics class. Today we are going to continue lesson 1 of civics, that is the legislature, union and states. The main objectives of the lesson are: you will come to know about what is the parliament, functions of the government, division of responsibilities between central and state governments, the union legislature, the Lok Sabha, the Rajya Sabha, powers and functions of the parliament, and the state legislature. And earlier we had discussed about the parliament and the union legislature. Today we are going to discuss about the two houses of the parliament. That means the topic of today is the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. The main objectives of today's topic are to know about the two houses of the parliament, that is the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. In it we will be discussing about the composition of both the houses, eligibility, tenure, and the presiding officer. But before starting today's topic, let us recall definitions and cross question answers related to the previous topics. Definitions: government, the parliament, democracy, citizen. Now answer these cross questions. Tell three levels at which the Indian government works, with which matters the union government deals, what is the other name of the parliament in India, which is the most significant symbol of our democracy, what forms the parliament. Now, let us discuss new words related to today's topic. First is the Lok Sabha, the lower house of the parliament. Constituencies, areas divided for the election. Anglo Indian, a person who is born in India, whose one parent is from India and the other parent is from England. Majority, the number of seats in the parliament needed to form a government. Ruling party, the party that has a majority in the Lok Sabha. Presiding officer, the leader of a group meeting. Speaker, the presiding officer of the Lok Sabha. Secret ballot, the method of voting in secret so that only the voter knows whom she or he has voted for. The Rajya Sabha, the upper house of the parliament. Nominate, to appoint to an office. Union territories, the areas that are directly controlled by the union or the central government. Ex officio, someone entitled to become a member because of the position one holds. State Legislative Assembly, a legislative body in the states and union territories of India. Earlier, we had discussed the three levels of the Indian government, and these three levels are the central government, the state government, and the local self government. And today, we are going to talk about the central government. The government that works at the center, union, or the national level is known as the central government. India is a federal, democratic republic with a parliamentary system of government. Federal means the government working at two levels, both union as well as at the state level. And in India, we have so many political parties. Political parties means a group of people having common aims and ideas. And India has a multi party system. That means India has a number of political parties, and these parties select their candidates by election. The party that gets the maximum number of seats will form the government. Like at present, the ruling party of India is BJP or Bharatiya Janata Party. The party that forms the government elects a leader, and the President of India appoints him as a Prime Minister. He or she then forms the Union Cabinet. Union Cabinet means a group of senior and important ministers. And the Union Cabinet consists of the Council of Important or the Senior Ministers. The ministers to the Union Cabinet can be chosen from both the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Now let us discuss about the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Our Indian Parliament is the supreme legislative body of India, and it consists of the Lok Sabha, the Rajya Sabha, and the President. As we had earlier discussed about the Parliament of India, that the Parliament of India consists of two houses, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Now let us first of all discuss about the Lok Sabha. The Lok Sabha is also known as the lower house or the house of people, and the members of the Lok Sabha are elected directly by the people. The maximum members of the Lok Sabha can be 552, and out of these, the maximum 530 members are elected from the states and 20 from the union territories. And at present, the total strength of Lok Sabha is 545, and out of 545, 543 are elected by the people directly, and 2 are nominated by the president. And those 2 which are nominated by the president are the Anglo Indians. And at present, out of 545, 530 members are elected representatives of the people from the state, and 13 are elected from the union territories directly by the people, and 2 are the Anglo Indians. Now let us start up with the reading. The Lok Sabha. The Lok Sabha is also called the lower house or the house of the people because it consists of members who are representatives of the people. These members are elected directly by the people. Means the lower house of the parliament is called the Lok Sabha or the house of people. It is called so because it consists of members who are directly elected by the voters or by the people. Composition. Each state has a fixed number of seats in the Lok Sabha depending on the state's population. These seats are called constituencies. Constituencies means the areas divided for the elections. Each constituency is a territorial area represented by a member of parliament, that is MP. That means each state and union territory is divided into number of areas called constituencies, and from one constituency one member is elected as a representative, and that representative member is a member of parliament. The Lok Sabha can have a maximum of 552 members. Out of this, 530 members are from the states and 20 members are from the union territories. Union territories are the areas which comes directly under the control of central government. The President of India can nominate 2 members from the Anglo-Indian community if its representation is found inadequate in the House. Anglo-Indian means a person who is born in India and whose one parent is from India and the other parent is from England. At present, the Lok Sabha has 545 members. And out of these 545 members, 530 members are elected by the states and 13 are elected by the union territories and 2 are nominated by the president. And those 2 which are nominated by the president are the Anglo Indians. For the Lok Sabha elections, the country is divided into 543 constituencies. And these constituencies are counted as seats, and these seats are allotted to different states and the union territories on the basis of their population. For example, at present, Uttar Pradesh has 80 seats in the Lok Sabha, whereas Punjab has 13 seats in the Lok Sabha, and the states with the less population like Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim, etc. has 1 seat in the Lok Sabha. Moreover, a total of 131 seats are reserved for representatives of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, and this is to ensure the powerless groups also get political motivation. Now, let us read and discuss about the eligibility or the qualifications for becoming the member of the Lok Sabha. To become a member of the Lok Sabha, a candidate must be an Indian citizen and more than 25 years of age. That means he or she must be a citizen of India and he or she should not be less than 25 years of age. Be a registered voter. That means to become a member of a Lok Sabha, a person must be a registered voter. Not be proclaimed offender. Offender means wrongdoer, criminal, or lawbreaker. That means he or she should not be proclaimed criminal. Must possesses the qualifications prescribed by the parliament. And some other qualifications for becoming the member of the Lok Sabha are: he or she should not hold any office of profit under the union or the state government. He or she should not be mentally unsound. Now, let us read and discuss about the tenure. Tenure means time period. Members of the Lok Sabha are elected for a period of 5 years. However, the president can dissolve the house before completion of its tenure when the ruling party loses majority. The ruling party loses majority when some of its members quits the party and join the another party. That means the president can dismiss the house before the completion of its time period. That means before the completion of 5 years, if the ruling party loses the majority, then the president can dismiss the house. On the other hand, at times of emergency, its tenure can be extended for a year. That means during the times of emergency, the Prime Minister can give advice to President to dissolve or dismiss the House. And new Lok Sabha must be elected within 6 months after the national emergency is lifted. The fifth Lok Sabha, that was from 1971 till 1977, had an extended term due to an emergency that was declared in 1975. The national emergency is imposed during the time of any internal or external disturbances in the country. And in India, on June 25, 1975 till March 21, 1977, the national emergency was imposed. And during that time, Mrs. Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister of India. Now, the next topic is election procedure. The members of the Lok Sabha are elected directly by the people through secret ballot. Secret ballot means the method of voting in secret so that only the voter knows whom she or he has voted for. This ensures that only the voter knows for whom she or he has voted and the level of secrecy is maintained. Secrecy means confidentiality. Every adult citizen of India who has completed 18 years of age can vote, and this is known as universal adult franchise. The candidate who secures more votes than the others becomes a member of the parliament, and elections take place every 5 years. So we can see that India has universal adult franchise, which means that every adult has the right to vote. Votes are cast on the basis of the secret ballot system, and from the year 2004 general elections, electronic voting machines are being used for voting. In electronic voting, one has to just press the button against the name of his or her choice and the vote is cast. And in the voting, the candidate who secures more votes than the others becomes a member of the parliament. And these elections are held after every 5 years. Now, let us read and discuss the last topic of the Lok Sabha, that is the presiding officer. The presiding officer means the leader of a group meeting. The speaker is elected from among the members of the Lok Sabha. The speaker means the presiding officer of the Lok Sabha. She or he usually belongs to the ruling party. The speaker is the presiding officer of the Lok Sabha. All members take oath in the presence of the speaker. She or he supervises the proceedings and maintains order in the house. Proceedings means events or happenings. The speaker has to act in an impartial manner. Impartial means neutral manner. That means the members of the Lok Sabha elect a speaker from among themselves. The speaker presides over the sessions of the Lok Sabha, and he or she keeps the house in order. He or she is elected by the members of Lok Sabha from among themselves, but once elected, he or she has to conduct his or her business impartially. She or he can only vote in the case of a tie at the end of a debate. G.V. Mevlankar was the first speaker of the Lok Sabha. Meera Kumar was the first woman speaker of the Lok Sabha. And moreover, there is a deputy speaker in the Lok Sabha also, and in the absence of the speaker, the deputy speaker presides over the sessions. And the deputy speaker is also elected by the members from among themselves in the same manner as the speaker is elected. And the present speaker of the Lok Sabha is Mr. Om Birla. Now, let us discuss about the other house of the Parliament of India, that is the Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha is also called the upper house of the Parliament or the Council of States. The maximum number of members of the Rajya Sabha can be 250, and out of these 250 members, 238 are representatives of the states and the union territories, and 12 are nominated by the President of India. The Rajya Sabha. The Rajya Sabha is also called the upper house or the council of states as it represents the states at the central level. It is a permanent body and cannot be dissolved even by the president. Means the other name of the Rajya Sabha is the upper house or the council of states, and it is the permanent body or the permanent house of the parliament because it cannot be dissolved or dismissed even by the president. Composition. The Rajya Sabha can have a maximum of 250 members. At present, its strength is 245. The states and the union territories elect 238 members of the Rajya Sabha. The president nominates 12 members who are eminent persons in the fields of art, literature, science, sports, or social services. Nominates means to appoint to an office, and eminent means important persons. And these 12 members are nominated for 6 years with a provision that one third, that is 4 out of 12, shall retire after every 2 years. Actually, these nominations are made by the President on the advice and recommendations of the Prime Minister. Moreover, at present, the Rajya Sabha actually consists of 245 members, out of which 233 are elected and 12 are the nominated members by the President. Eligibility or the qualifications required for becoming the member of the Rajya Sabha. The criteria to be a member of the Rajya Sabha are the same as that of the Lok Sabha. That means, for becoming the member of the Rajya Sabha, one must be an Indian citizen, he or she must be a registered voter and not be a proclaimed offender. He or she must possess the qualifications prescribed by the Parliament. The only difference is the minimum age, which is 30 years in the case of the Rajya Sabha, whereas in the case of the Lok Sabha, the minimum age is 25 years. Now let us read and discuss tenure of the Rajya Sabha. Tenure means time period. Every member has a term of 6 years in every 2 years. The tenure of one third of its members ends and new members take their place. Means each member has a term of 6 years in the Rajya Sabha and one third of its total members retire at the end of every 2 years, and the equal number of new members are elected or nominated to fill the vacancies caused by the retirement of one third members. These members are elected by the members of the state legislative assemblies. Means the members of the Rajya Sabha are not elected by people directly but indirectly by the legislative assemblies of the various states. Basically, the state legislative assembly is an assembly at the state level. It is a law-making body at the state level. Like at the country level, we have two houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. In the same way, at the state level, we have two houses. And the state legislative assembly is the lower house at the state level. About state legislative assembly, we will discuss in detail in the next video. Now let us read and discuss the next topic, the presiding officer. Presiding officer means the leader of a group meeting. The Vice President of India is the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Ex officio means someone entitled to become a member because of the position one holds. At present, Mr. Venkaiah Naidu is the Vice President of India and he is also the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. She or he is elected by the members of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. She or he is not the member of the Rajya Sabha but can vote in case of a tie. Her or his duties are similar to those of the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. Means she or he supervises the proceedings and maintains order in the House. In her or his absence, the deputy chairman presides over the meetings. The deputy chairman is chosen by the members of the Rajya Sabha. At present, Mr. Harivansh Narayan Singh is the deputy chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Now, let us once recall all the important points related to the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. The Lok Sabha is the lower house of the parliament, whereas Rajya Sabha is the upper house of the parliament. Maximum strength in Lok Sabha is 552 members, and maximum strength in the Rajya Sabha is 250 members. Prime Minister is the leader of the Lok Sabha, whereas Vice President of India acts as the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha operates for 5 years and Rajya Sabha is a permanent body. And in Rajya Sabha, every member has a term of 6 years. To become a member of the Lok Sabha, the qualifying age is 25 years, whereas to become a member of the Rajya Sabha, the qualifying age is 30 years. Now, I hope the two houses of the parliament, that is Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, are clear to you. Your today's homework is to revise the related terms and try to solve the related back exercises.